black people succeed and see us do better and change the social order, because I know that we are not supposed to be on bottom. I understand who I was. I know I didn't fall out of the sky and land on a plantation. So when you have knowledge of self and you know who you are, what you come from, it's frustrating more than anything to see us in this position.
Tune into the Artist Exchange every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. live. Big social.
Unknown to find who we really are. Crash into something new and take a break from my broken heart. Talk with these hips, tell me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, try not to say too much. Let your love come down. If you wanna rule, it's some rules you gotta live by. Live by. Stay true, let it cool, make a move. Don't wait on nobody else. And if it feels like a melody, sing a song we already know. And if you follow me back, I'll follow you back. Let the night unfold. I can tell that you can't get enough. Show me what you could. Feel so funny. I know you could. Feel so funny. Got your legs till we dance in the dark. Show me what you could. Feel so funny. We do whatever we like. Feel so funny. I know you could. Feel so funny. Slide you and me alone to find who we really are. Crash into something new. I got that leg bringing up the car. Told me you kiss, told me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, I wanna take you, but we gotta groove so we can lose the crowd. If you wanna rule, it's some rules you gotta live by. Live by. Stay true, really cool, make a move, don't wait on nobody else. And if it feels like a melody, sing a song we already know. And if you follow me back, I'll follow you back. Let the night unfold. I can tell that you can't get enough. Show me what you could. Feel so funny. I know you could. Feel so funny. Got your legs till we dance in the dark. Show me what you could. Feel so funny. We do whatever we like. Feel so funny. I know you could. Feel so funny. You can be my radio. Follow me there, I'll follow you back. Let the night unfold. That you can't get enough. Show love. Feel so good, get the hands up. Feel so good, shoot it, do it. Feel so good, yeah. Legs till we dance in the dark. Feel so good, we do whatever we like. Feel so good, I know you could. Feel so good.
You leave with a plate full with no spoon. Ain't no space, I can't escape negativity. I got used to the taste of it. Bad learned that up though. But remain strong through the past. Over king of haters on the way like mass over. Roll up to something like a bad soul. Who would I be? It ain't the man to me to let the next man take advantage of me. When that storm come, no man I see. Get with it, not without it, then you'll see. I beat the haters, they know I'm greater. That's why they bust for the elevator. But I can't say it, it'll be too loud. The pedal stool, don't cry your face. Always got your hand out the man favors. When I just looked out, now you see more paper. I can't breathe, give me 3 feet. I never let y'all be the death of me. When my bitch run that, yeah, nigga OT. Cause they wanna see me down like I'm NCT. 6 words, yeah, the fuck away from me. excuse me while I get back to PC. H.O.P. ain't due to sleep while you turn it out, always on me. I'm stacking green just to feed the team. My boo, she know that I'm king, gon' chasing my dream. These niggas the same, I rip up the trash and then put on new jeans. See, the problem is, man, you know, I keep it 100, man. Yeah, I mean, like, if I got it, then you got it. You know what I mean? But if I got it, then I'ma give it. You feel me? But I definitely got you through the ride, man. Let's get it, yo.
I'm really getting tired of ungrateful ass niggas. They really about to turn me to a hateful ass nigga. Like I was never there when you never had figures. Pull triggers for you niggas when you caught up in the trenches. Man, I really don't get it. I don't know what's going on, but I really don't feel it. Niggas really know that I've been there from the beginning, but the more I see niggas side switch, it make me wanna bring it closer to the end, and that's why I can't fuck around with these niggas. I'll fuck around with my hoe. Cause niggas acting like bitches and hoes acting like bros. Man, I swear I really don't get it. How people switch up their roles. First it was nothing but love, but nowadays I don't know. It seems like anything goes. Where can I go? Cause lately fucking with you, I just stand at a fork in the road. It's hurting my soul. When I'm around you, I shouldn't feel like I should stay on my toes. So where do we go from here? Get dough from here? Or are we gonna end it on the road right here? Cause either way, whether it's left or the right on my property, niggas gon' blow around here. Fuck cities up, why would you shows around here? Keep my music up, my movie blow through around here. Don't be looking salty if you're not going nowhere. Should've kept it with the moon instead of moving over there. Cause I'm getting to the point where I just don't care. Know you're thinking to yourself that it's just not fair, but you made your choice and I won't be taught. Just know ain't no fucking coming back around here. And we shining and grinding, you mad that you ain't at the top. And you see what we climbing, our music is timeless. I thought you would witness the vision, but it's obvious that you blinded. I thought we was brothers, I thought we was fam, but it's plain to see that you don't give a damn. Everything cool when we out selling grams, but now it's a problem, a mic in my hand, man. Dang.
Feel you, my nigga. See, niggas be seeing just one way of life when there's billions of possibilities that happen on a day-to-day basis. Don't judge us cause you ain't where you supposed to be at in life. Instead of envy or try and bring niggas to your level, strive for better. Fuck yourself, not people around you, man. Pay attention, wake up.
Listen to this flashback of Skylyne radio show.
So where we at? Where we talk about the effects and what's going on in these schools.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand. Just real briefly, I just want to talk a little bit about what people say bullying is or is not. So bullying comes in many forms. It's a teasing, it's the cyberbullying, it's the texting, it's the phone calls, it's the posting of pictures and people's personal information to pretty much cause them harm, to have them feel insecure. It's the sex assaults that people actually put out there. There are physical assaults, and there are mental assaults and emotional assaults. And what I like to remind individuals that any aggressive behavior towards anyone that is unwanted and unwarranted in an individual asks you to stop. Let's stop there. Stop.
And they should be respecting that.
Respecting that and respecting yourself, because when you're able to respect another person, you're able to respect yourself. And the way that you're able to show that respect is that you know that you have a gift and you know you're uniquely made and that you matter, and then you also acknowledge that the next person beside you matters as well.
Right.
You know? And we lose that sometimes. Bullying is a behavior that underestimates the lives and legacy of you. I'm sure when they was bullying me, and I'm sure when they was bullying you, they didn't understand who you're going to become later on. I didn't know.
Right, because I'm popping. I can't. All right, let me tell you, all those people who felt like they wanted to say whatever to me, look at me now. It's like, no, y'all don't understand, but I've been through some things, okay?
And you know what? No, I applaud you and I salute you, because a lot of times we do not take the time to say, I'm okay, and I'm okay with me, and there's nothing wrong with me, and I'm amazing, and I'm blessed, and I'm strong, and I matter.
Join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for Skylyne Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Like keys only have this bitch jumping.
Okay. If I sit around, hold up. Look. If I sit around, hold up. Yeah. Rubber up. Let's go.
If I sit around, I'ma smoke some more. Wasn't even thinking about smoke before, but I'm in my hand, I'm in the bed. Don't know who I am, like I'm wearing a mask. Open mode, tell 'em where the cash. If you wear the cash, tell 'em where the cash. You get it for you, gon' run it back. You make promises, but I promise that. Don't promise me, cause I ain't into that. Fell in love with that and got hurt from that. That was all over in the curtains back. Can't see you now, not noticing that. I'm letting it go, it ain't holding me back. Yeah, I'm on dice, but ain't come for the crack. Working with Uncle, we only do jack. I'm alive, I thank God for that. Praying about it, things getting better. Open it up with my name on the letter. Why you crazy about it? Saying whatever, you shy to be you. You know you gotta be you. Sometimes I need privacy too. Yeah, you know I ride. You know I ride. And you know you ride for me too. Yeah, you know I. Look, you like getting that hit from me. When it's me and Murray, just us get chill. I'm in a rush to get off to get you. Never ever had to floss to get you. Hate the dudes that they call to kiss you. Rug burns on the carpet with you. Oh yeah. You know I'm doing this and had to dedicate this to the homie New Orleans. Break. Said she wanna bump that. You wanna do it? Go ahead, do it.
Long live Pop. Y'all can go ahead and cry now. I'ma show these niggas what to do with one of these beats, man. I am gas, by the way. Strong woman story should've been on CNN. Nobody knows what it's like being Gwen. Windows closed in the house, it ain't no CNN. Can't gain weight for years, she been being thin. Single mother, no help from the system. When they was giving out food stamps, she missed them. Birth certificate, baby daddy, she couldn't list them. But her son was so beautiful when she kissed him. Blame it on love, but nigga she could've died with. Destroyed the whole world and found out she was a side chick. The nigga loved his wife and it got hard to hide it. So when Gwen confronted him, he ain't even denied it. Her fault, depends on who you asking. She tried to be a stripper, but the tip out was taxing. Buying all the purses, trying to keep up with the fashion. And her mama hated babysitting with a passion. She deserved better circumstances. A black queen, she should've been blessed with certain chances. Looked down upon, getting all of hurting glances. Making men change up all the twerking stances. She never cried about the pain, only gritted her teeth. But most soldiers never get a flower or a wreath. She like G.I. Jane in the war with no relief. Don't recognize why killers was going through her beat. She said more prayers than the nun did after seeing so much struggle.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey guys, we are here. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is T, the Busy Bee. You should know this by now, but anyway.
I'm your boy, Skylyne Mark.
And we are Skylyne Radio Show. Yes, we did come out quarantined or not. You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
We got bills to pay.
Right. Real bills to pay. He paid for bills.
We got grown folk bills to pay.
Right. Thank you for everyone that's tuning in. I hope you think we're gonna get a good crowd tonight? I think we're gonna get a good
think we are.
Everyone's sitting at
Everybody's home.
So like
look, cabin fever and
so share to everybody and let's talk it up. Let's chop it up. That's what we're gonna
cabin fever and it's nice out.
Right. It was so pretty today. So I get
it's gonna be like 75 tomorrow.
I know.
Then it's supposed to be like 80, 85 Saturday.
Everyone's gonna go outside this weekend.
Then it's gonna be cold this weekend.
Sounds about right.
I don't know about y'all, but I plan on going to DC this weekend.
Yeah,
Cherry
we're
blossoms.
feeding the homeless. Cherry blossoms.
Yeah.
They moved it to this weekend. Them things.
They canceled it, but you know people still gonna go because they already in bloom.
I really hope they don't see. The thing is that right now first off, this happened really fast. We didn't even finish our whole introduction or anything. That's what we going to take a minute, right?
So how was your week been?
Thank you. There we go. Before we jump right into, because there's so much to talk about. Not going to talk about it. Our week has been, it's been up and down, up and down, and up and down, and up and down. Today was definitely one of those up and down days. Yesterday was up and down day. The day before, I actually have to go into work-ish.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was up and down, thinking of the benefits of having 2 weeks off, you know.
Right.
Thought it was real quick. But I mean, I've been knocking stuff out, getting stuff done. So that's what you're supposed to do when you're getting paid, right? How has your week been?
Crickets. You hear that?
Oh, I thought you was
About
just
that,
taking a while
about that slow. So you can't really do your normal activities. I was supposed to go to the Chase spot, the garage, this past Sunday for SR's music performance, and forgot all about it. I didn't remember about it until like 7:30, and by that time I was in the mix of my exercise routine. I was all kinds. I got awful nasty, sweaty. So it had been like an hour or so before I was ready to even leave my house. And then with it being on Sunday, light rail don't work after a certain time. And I don't know what their schedule is with everything going on. I don't know if they've gone to a limited schedule or not. Don't know anyone that really works for MTA anymore, so I can't just be like, hey, what's up? What's going on? What's the schedule like? Because I don't know who works there and who doesn't, because I don't know who's lost their job because of everything going on. Because
would you say you lost their job or their job is on hold?
Well, I mean, if you're laid off, you don't have a job.
Are people being laid off?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know a lot of fast food places have fast food, retail, Walmart, Target. I know they've gone to limited hours. CVS, Chick-fil-A, a lot of your fast foods have gone from limited hours to drive-through or order out, takeout only. So yeah, it's all your bars are closed.
Yeah.
A lot of people have job security, but a lot of people don't. So like, take Marriott, they're laying off a rack of people. So Fawn the skater, she works under the brand of Marriott, and she was like, I'm glad this, and this because I got job security, so I'm good. Well, good. That's one less thing we got to worry about with you, because I'm like you. I was a little worried. Damn, Fawn gonna lose her job or not? Yeah, we're worried about ourselves, but I don't know about you, but I'm good. You know what I mean? I could be better, but me, I'm not one to complain. I try not to anyways. I hold a lot of shit in. Yes, I did say shit.
Talking a lot.
Hey, what we gonna do? We got 2 hours.
Yeah, I know.
And
I know.
You know what we're not gonna do? We're not gonna glorify the coronavirus. How about that?
We are gonna talk on it.
We'll talk about it, and we'll talk about the happenings and the latest and everything else going on.
Yeah.
But don't believe the hype. It ain't gonna last that long.
He say it ain't gonna last that long. They say it's gonna last till August.
Right.
I don't know what's going on. I
don't believe the hype.
So, whoo, I don't even know where we're gonna start. Where to start? You know what? I know where to start. So, I am hungry.
She got a tapeworm. She always hungry.
Tapeworm's not cool. But all right. So with this coronavirus, you want to start on the coronavirus? We can, because we done did our check-in about how we were today. So, boom, here we are once again. The coronavirus has taken over America.
Just like everything else that's happened in the last 2 years. What's the list? Did you get the list I sent you?
Yeah. So
every 2 years something happens.
Every 2 years, which happens to be election year. Ironically, there's a virus, a deadly virus that goes around, or a very sickly virus that goes around. In 2004, it was SARS. I don't remember SARS.
I do.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep, sure do.
What was it like?
I don't know. That was a long time ago.
How you gonna remember it? No, Mark, you can't do that, dog. You gotta tell me what SARS was. I was in 2004.
They talked about it. They tried to glorify it, but it didn't work, and life moved on.
Because I don't remember.
Nothing has been glorified. The only thing that I remember that they really honestly glorified was bird flu.
Ebola, Zika virus, and
bird flu. That's the only one I really remember.
I remember the swine flu. They told everyone stop eating pork. The avian flu, I don't know what that is.
Stop eating these crazy ass animals
avian
overseas. Bats. That's not normal.
You really think that the coronavirus came from bats?
No. I told you earlier where it came from. I don't know if we can say that on the radio though. Huh?
You think Chinese people really eat bats? Y'all,
I know they do. They eat rats and pigeons, don't they?
I don't believe it. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I didn't believe this coronavirus coming from bats thing. I don't know why people try to play with us. Like, they can just drop anything out of the air. We just supposed to believe it. Like, okay.
Because we're Americans. We believe anything.
That too. Because when the world... I felt like we was walking around and the sky was falling. Like,
that's what they wanted you to believe.
In the middle of the street, and it was like the sky is falling.
Yeah,
the sky is falling.
Don't believe
it. Were like the whole scene. I know y'all know that scene. I know y'all know that scene from Chicken Little. He was in the middle of the street yelling in circles, and like the cars was just going past him. Nobody was checking on him. You know, as he's yelling, the sky is falling and going in circles and circles and circles. Like, that's what I felt like was happening in America.
Yeah. That's what they want you to believe, though.
There's so many different things. What else happened? It's so much that has happened since this thing has developed. Since I want to call it a crisis. I've been calling it a crisis since the beginning. I know it's a pandemic because I know that it's everywhere, but I also feel like this is a health crisis. You know, like it's a health crisis, which is why I can't say, I'm not going to say pandemic, but I'll use the words health crisis. And I believe that it's a health crisis because it really proved a lot.
What it proved?
That
people can get sick.
No,
if you don't take care of yourself, you can die.
No, that it can go to a panic. Anything can panic just like that. One, it also
when it's glorified.
This is true. It also proved that, this time around, there was a lot of theories and things that were put out there that kind of told the truth about what's going on. And I don't know if people actually really paid attention to those articles.
They didn't. And they passed that because it didn't have nothing to do with the epidemic.
And it was
they want to know the news on the latest.
Hectic. But the fact that the truth is like really out there.
It's right in front of you.
And it's right in front of you and how it happened and who's connected and everything.
Like, I'll give you a hint. It's got something to do with this.
That really doesn't happen often. Not blatant. Not without someone putting it out there. But the news put it out there. And that was just crazy to me. What else is crazy? Oh, the lines at the...
Can I ask y'all something? Not to be rude, ignorant, obnoxious, but y'all do know toilet paper, tissue paper, paper towels. You know that doesn't kill coronavirus. Rubber glove. Washing your hands. You pick your nose, wash your hands. Pick your ears, wash your hands. Stick your finger in your mouth, wash your hands. Go to the bathroom. 1, 2, or 3. Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
So
you know,
okay.
You worried about paper towels and toilet paper and tissue paper. You buying any condoms to have safe sex? Just saying. You buying Lysol so you can spray your house down, your doorknobs, everything else? It's just a question.
Let's not really ask them. Let's talk about the stuff that wasn't bought.
I mean,
but let's go back and actually let's dissect what they told us to buy. Let's dissect from the symptoms.
It's common sense. You know what to buy. And it ain't paper towels, toilet paper, and tissue paper.
But Mr. Producer, sir, our producer's in here with us. Where would you like to start? Would you like to start when we talk about the symptoms? That just like this, the weirdest thing was the symptoms to me.
The weirdest things were the symptoms to you.
Well, most of the weirdest things. It's amongst other things, but one of the weirdest things were the symptoms.
Well, yeah.
And the cure or the take care of yourself method. That was weird to me too.
Well, the only thing like I told people before, I think it was last weekend, somebody in this room said F Neil deGrasse Tyson, because I actually saw him on Stephen Colbert show, and he said, wash your hands, make sure your surfaces are clean, so and so. That will not stop the virus, but that will prevent the further spread of the virus. And after a while, if I'm sure after a while it would die down, or just like any other diseases,
exactly,
or anything like that. Once you take precautions of it,
yeah.
I think what's the difference between this and SARS is that SARS, they're both respiratory.
I don't remember SARS.
Well,
I was too
SARS
young.
came out in 2003.
I was a teenager. I don't remember SARS.
Yeah, when you're a teenager, you don't pay attention. You don't
pay attention. The most I paid attention to.
The
one of the symptoms.
The biggest epidemic was, the biggest epidemic of SARS in this country was 2003.
Okay.
One of the symptoms for coronavirus is respiratory illnesses, right?
Yeah, both respiratory.
You had coronavirus because you had upper respiratory infection.
We'll get there.
And you stayed home.
But we'll get there.
And you got better.
But we'll get
See how
there
that works?
because we're gonna get there.
You, Mikey, and John.
Yeah.
I do feel like I had it, but I wanted to talk about this. What is SARS? Like, it's really bothering me.
SARS is another respiratory disease that we had an outbreak of it here in the country in 2003. Throughout the country, I think it left like 700 and some odd people dead. I think, if I'm not mistaken, only 8 cases were reported dead here in the United States.
Okay.
But that was more closer contact because that was more like sneeze. It had to come from like respiratory drops, like coughing. Like if you cough and spit on you, you can get SARS. You sneeze, you can get SARS.
Okay, so
that type of thing. Runny noses, somebody. So that's why they always told you. You see a lot of people wearing masks, and they were telling you to make sure you have hand sanitizer and wash your hands and stuff like that before.
Yeah. So the symptoms to me were like not regular symptoms. Okay, the symptoms, they were shortness of breath. I'm trying to remember. Dry cough.
Okay.
The more I say the symptoms. What's the third one? Come on, someone knows the third one. Hold on, because I was doing a lot of
sneezing.
Coughing. Is that what it is?
Yeah, runny nose.
Stuffy nose, runny nose.
But okay, give me 1 second. It's one more. I know for a fact it's shortness of breath, and I know for a fact it was a dry cough. Boom, symptoms.
And how long ago was that?
This was, tiredness, difficulty breathing, cough. This was in January. Okay. This was January 8th, to be exact. That was, I remember getting sick because it was raining that day, and I went to get food, and it was raining, and I got in my car, I ate the food, and as soon as I ate the food, I threw up. I woke up in the morning, I had a headache, and my throat hurt. The next day, I think one day I had a headache, the next day my throat was hurting, then I was feeling fatigued, then it finally became a cold.
Did you go to the doctor?
I went to the doctor's towards the almost the end of it, because I didn't realize, like, I knew I was sick. I'm going to tell you when I went to the doctor's. I coughed myself. It was on a Wednesday. It was the Wednesday I said I wasn't coming in January. I coughed myself out of bed 5, 6, 7 times. And I called the ambulance. So I called Kaiser, and Kaiser called the ambulance, and they told me that my breathing and everything was fine. But when I went to the hospital, they told me I had an upper respiratory infection and I had the flu.
Okay.
And then they gave me some medicine, and I think within like 3-4 days I was okay. No, they gave me some medicine. That was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. By that following Tuesday, I was fine.
Well,
so you was down for roughly 2 weeks.
Yeah, about 10 days to 2 weeks.
Well, you know what? To be honest with you, the normal time for the common cold and flu-type symptoms are 10 days.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the weird part.
2 weeks.
So it's just, but the symptoms of what they connected to the coronavirus were the same symptoms I had. So I was like,
Yeah.
for real?
I mean, you know,
Like, did I already have this?
but at the same
You did.
but at the same time, you know, people are actually getting it, and like I saw Idris Elba tweet, and he said that he feels perfectly fine. He has no symptoms, but they found out that there was traces of the coronavirus. I mean, which could be possible, because as many people as we come in contact with, especially in a metropolitan area, you don't know who got what. You know what I mean? So, I mean, just like in your case, it could have been the flu. It could have been food poisoning. It could have been, it could have been an upper respiratory
It was SARS.
It could have
Whatever
been,
that is, because I don't know.
it could have been an
sorry.
upper respiratory infection.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been any of those things. But at the same time, I think right now we should be just precautious of.
You know what my doctor told me? Keep a bottle of something dark close.
Yeah.
Preferably something of the
I
whiskey
think-
family.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
doctor's gonna tell you that because most of them get drunk anyway.
Oh no, this is my bartender doctor.
Yeah, well, that's they were the bartenders first.
All right, guys. Well, it is now 8:30, and we are going to take a
Pay
break
some bills.
and pay some bills. You know, we'll be back after these few messages on Be Exposed Radio. We're going to finish talking about the coronavirus, but we're not about to talk about it this whole time. Not for 2 hours. Maybe only like
One more
the
segment.
next set. All right, guys. See you soon on BeExposedRadio.com.
Yeah.
Check out this flashback from Talk Lately with Money only on BeExposedRadio.com.
But the windows is the problem for portable air conditioners in schools.
Because you can't lift
they don't lift up, they only open out.
Yeah.
And then they only open out enough to save a baby. The rest of y'all gonna die. I'm just saying, how you gonna get out? I used to remember that them Brandon still got those windows.
Yeah, but they don't even go out that way. They go out that way.
So you gotta drop down.
Like, kick the window out.
I don't even think those windows is hard. You gotta slam one of them closed.
You can't even slam on that.
Jailhouse windows, kids go jail. This might as well be like they with the third metal detectors and shit.
They don't have metal detectors in one school.
None of them?
They think
not even Booker T? Because that sounds like it's hood.
they don't.
Frederick Douglass? No.
You know what? I've never been in Frederick Douglass High School. No, they took metal detectors out of school.
Frederick Douglass got one.
They did?
Oh, okay.
Now they got one. Because it was a
They changed a lot. My son did the other day. He said they got one.
That's why I didn't really got one school? No, I don't think I've ever been in that one. Where'd you go to? Randallstown?
Thank you. Full AT. I was never out there.
That's a shame.
While I was in the nurse's
Just like the schools that you said, like I'm surprised that Booker T is on that list. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised Mount Royal is.
I just got an update in my ear. There is no metal detectors in Dunbar. Doc!
No, because they took a lot of the schools that had them, they took them out.
Is it a no-shoot zone? It might be a no-shoot zone. So.
Just because you spray paint that on the ground, I mean...
They work.
Yeah, people looking at them. The people shooting are walking over those signs, like...
All this and much more every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Talk Lately with Money. Only on BeExposedRadio.com.
This is a Poverty ENT exclusive.
Next stop, Texaco, strapped up, you already know. Fuck niggas hate, that's how it goes. Goes with me, yeah, it's time to go.
You're listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And we are back. Thank you guys for tuning in. We were talking about the coronavirus. We just got finished talking about some of the symptoms of the coronavirus. We talked about the we talked about the symptoms. We didn't talk about the shopping fiasco. But I like y'all. Hey everybody, y'all are funny. Do you want to talk about this? Got it. Well, we can use the rest of this hour for it. But you want to talk about the trips to the trips to the stores? Let's talk. That was the most chaotic in the media.
Look, real talk. Y'all keep breaking your neck going to the store and buying everything that you can possibly buy. Your bills aren't going nowhere. They haven't stopped mortgaging rent.
Right.
The end of the month is coming next week.
Right.
What you gonna do? How you gonna pay your bills?
I mean, I feel like those who actually went out there.
Still got rent and mortgage. You still got car note insurance if you have those.
Well,
just saying.
Here we go again with the panic of media.
Yeah, the media helped us.
And, it's like, buy all the hand sanitizer, buy all the Lysol, buy all the bleach.
The tissue.
The toilet paper. You're going to be stuck in the house for 2 to 3 weeks. You might as well buy up all the toilet paper, all the utilities. Oh, by the way, get water, so on, so on, so on.
Oh, yeah, don't forget food.
Yeah, and don't forget food.
We're going to talk about
They're not buying that, though.
No, but they are.
They are now.
Oh,
they
no,
are
they
because
weren't.
a lot of folks are going to be off work for a minute or two until they get this thing straight.
And they talking about it's not going to be straight until like July, August.
That's a lie.
I don't believe that.
I don't either.
But
I hope not. I hope that it's cleared up by then. I hope everything is not as bad as they make it seem.
Yeah.
But I do say take precaution. Because even down to food, because there's some folks that I know that work in the state departments, and they are shut down. And it's like, I don't know when we're going back to work.
For me, it's on cold blue.
Yeah. I believe
if you ain't got to go to work, don't go. Well, you know what? They salary, so that's easier said than done.
But not all people who work for state government is salary.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Some of them, do the 9 to 5, 40 week.
So with the food epidemic, it was kind of funny to actually see it happening, but it was really wild. Like, people were like legit fighting over the last thing of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like legit fighting over cereal.
Yeah.
Like really
you trying to go to jail for some paper products.
Now, I also believe that it's very crazy that this is happening because a lot of people just got their tax money back. So on that note of people not having the money, I feel like the people who had the money were the ones who went. Because I know people who did not go at all.
But see, you got to recognize that not all people get their taxes back and go buying big screen TVs and all the rest of that stuff. Some people get their taxes back and it's going straight back into their property taxes. It's going straight to their bills. It's going straight into the things that they need to take care of. So, in that retrospect, I think it was just an outbreak of people like, look, we need to get this crap right now.
We need to get it right now.
Right now, because my niece works at Walmart.
Oh Lord.
And she's like, man, they went crazy over toilet paper, Lysol, hand wipes, bleach, water, all the rest of that stuff. And she was like, they didn't, all the food departments are okay. And then she came back the next day and said, they wiped out the food departments. But when you have an epidemic, to this proportion, especially when it's spread around the country, people are going to go nuts.
Yeah.
Because, one, they don't know how long they're going to be locked down. Two, if they can come out, because, now Hogan's even talking about bringing out the National Guard, and you can.
They're already out.
Yeah, I know. They're already out, but I think he's talking about.
He's talking about bringing out what, like 1,000?
Yeah. Or more.
This is my question. Now, Hogan said yesterday, and I quote, 250 Maryland State Troopers will be going around making sure all your different bars and places were obeying the ordinance of closing.
Right.
How many state troopers you see yesterday? I ain't seen none.
You know what?
And we were all over Baltimore.
You know what? If he put the ordinance out for 250, that 250 probably only would cover like Anne Arundel County alone.
I saw more Baltimore City cops yesterday and Fells Point alone than I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
And it was a ghost town.
Oh yeah.
They were bored. They didn't have nothing to do.
We saw 2 boats. I can come here 7 days a week in the daytime and then come back at nighttime and won't see 1 boat. I saw 2 boats yesterday in Fells Point alone.
Yeah.
I saw 3 unmarked. I saw 2 marked. I saw 1 sitting just in Fells Point.
Yeah. And it's getting to the point where, you know, this weekend, oh man, you better not try to have a party in your house over 35 people. Because they talking about, look, if you're going to do something, it's got to be 10 people or less.
We speeding again. But it's cool because we here now.
Wherever I'm at, I will have my drink. Trust and believe.
Nobody said anything about not having your drink.
Yeah,
but we're talking about.
Right, the whole
You just can't go out and
spectrum.
really do anything.
Look, so dun dun dun, we have made it to the rules.
We
the
have.
rules that they have put in. Yeah, I really had like a list of things that I wanted to talk about, discussing everything when it came to the coronavirus. The rules that they have put in place in order to stop the coronavirus.
Okay.
They said we must be 6 to 7 feet away. In restaurants, you are not allowed to sit down anymore, so everyone has to stand up. You only allow 50 people or less, and on top of that 50 people or less, you can only sit 6 people to a table, and they all have to be 6 to 7 feet apart.
Exactly. Well, y'all hugged each other and all the rest of that stuff.
Right.
So it's safe. Yeah.
He don't care. He has no type of.
We're not scared.
But I'm at least 6 feet away from
Yeah, right.
I mean, you can come join us.
But he has no type of care in the world when it comes to this. It's just like, oh, all right, okay.
Yeah, and go ahead. What's the rest of the ordinance?
What else? The 6 to 7. Oh, all bars and lounges are closed, of course. 6 to 7. Delivery. Everyone has to turn to delivery or takeout.
Yeah, that's already in effect.
I think that's like all the rules that they have right now.
Yeah, but also, you know, they're actually saying,
I wonder if the numbers are climbing. Like
actually, the last time I have once we go on a break, I'll actually take a look and tell you how many in the state of Maryland,
just broke that,
and DC and Virginia. So.
Because yesterday when I checked, no, that was the death rates. I checked the death rates, and that was different than the actual amount of people. But I don't remember the amount of people. But I did check the death rates.
Yeah, I think the one I just looked at has both the actual amount of people that has been affected by it.
It's in the thousands. I know that much.
What?
The cases.
Oh, it's well.
Oh, the cases. I thought you were talking about the death
cases.
Death rate.
It's well over 2,000 cases, because last week we looked at it. It was 2,000 and.
What, worldwide or in this country?
In this country, 2,500 cases, and the UK had dropped to 2,100 cases. Puerto Rico, nowhere.
It's in the islands. I mean, not. It's not in the islands.
So,
the last
warm weather, it can't survive.
CDC map where they pinpoint all the areas that has been affected by
East Coast, a big
CD virus 19. I'll say that coronavirus 19. I'm not going to say the coronavirus because this is a different strain. Okay, so
there's also 19 strains of this, which means there's 18 of them that we have surpassed and made it through.
Well, shoot. I mean, how many strands of
the flu do you have?
Diseases are there out here?
It's just
trying to tell you.
That part's weird to me. It landed on Lysol bottles before people actually paid attention.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, because anytime, you see it on the back of your Lysol cans and your bottles and on bleach bottles and stuff like that, apparently it has been tested for that stuff.
Right.
So apparently... I'm
learning a lot during
So
this.
apparently it must have been around for a while. Anytime I told, they're like, did you know it was on the back of the Lysol can? And I'm
it's only been on there forever.
7 years ago I seen it on the back of the Lysol can. So... it's a strain of the virus that happens to be a highly concentrated strain.
Yeah.
That, has killed people. Now, I don't know what their medical facilities were like in those countries.
Well, most of the medical insurance, the medical field, I couldn't get the word together. But most of the medical fields in other countries are A1 everywhere.
Yeah, but you also have to look at areas. If you're looking at the more metropolitan areas, yes, I would say yes. But then you also have to look at smaller provinces, smaller little towns and countries where they may have just the country doctor.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it in a lot of places, even in England and Ireland and throughout the UK, they have the main hospitals, and then they also have their little doctors in their provinces that they go to. So it depends on. And then again, you gotta look at it. I mean, not all. Looking at the medical rates, a lot of them people can't even afford to eat in some of those countries, let alone take care of themselves medically.
I mean, but those are third world in particular. Well, they count too. So
you know what?
They definitely count.
How far are we away from third world?
Not far.
Nowhere near far.
So how can when I look at it's a situation in China where it's that they can't feed their people, but yet you got Hong Kong, which is there that mass producing a lot of stuff. And then I also look at Flint, Michigan, who has a big water problem that they still haven't worked out, but yet we're the richest
country in the world, and we still got problems.
So how you have to look at it. How far are we away from being, looking at it in that sense? How far are we from a world?
I don't understand how we could be the richest country in the world with so much debt.
Because we selfish.
Well,
it's a capitalistic world.
It's a capitalistic world.
It's selfish.
It's a capitalistic world, and it is very selfish. But we're in debt because we bailed so many people out and didn't consider our own self.
How about that? Say that one more time for the dumbasses in the back.
We're in so much debt because we had bailed so many people out and didn't take a look at ourselves.
I think that we also don't know how to mind. I hope this teaches us to mind our business.
Hell no.
Well, the one thing that we shouldn't have done in the first place is to come into different countries like we are the champions of the world. That we can take care of every last one of your problems. All you have to do is turn over to a democratic state. That now if there's a Russian, I'm about to say Russian dictator. Please forgive me. If there's a dictator over there that's slaughtering millions upon millions of people just for his own whim,
right?
Yeah, go over there. Tell him, hey, look, you cut it out, or we coming over there because that's United Nations get together and supposed to say that.
Yeah.
All right, you cut that out because that's against our nation, the United Nations credo and code, and you're part of the United Nations.
Can we have Lil Jon as our president?
Okay.
You don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Don't start no shit. Won't be no shit.
Yeah.
No, he's too ratchet. No, actually, you know what? I won't say that he's too ratchet because he actually just.
I wouldn't say he's too ratchet.
And Trump ain't ratchet?
I wouldn't say he's ratchet. See, that's that. See, the difference is that he would be considered too radical.
Yeah.
Than ratchet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because in a
He's
sense,
an idiot.
Who?
Trump.
Well, Trump is well.
We don't have to worry about talking about.
Oh my! I done said a swear. We're not supposed to say that word on this radio show.
Get on. Sometimes people can be egotistical maniacs.
Yeah.
He's that.
And he has always been that.
Always. Since he was a kid.
Anytime you're 33 years old and you build the Trump Towers, and all of a sudden you're on People Magazine as one of the most eligible bachelors in the world. Women are swooning over you because you got money and everything. That's why he acts the way he do, because he's privileged.
He is very much so privileged.
And over the years, I have watched his privilege gain to be more and more celebrityism.
He's so privileged that he actually made it to presidency.
He was the first. He was the
no political experience.
He was before the Kardashians. Okay.
He was before Flavor Flav. You remember that guy?
Yeah, I know who Flavor Flav is.
The guy that Public Enemy fired. Like, that's your hype man. How you fire him?
Well, you know what? What time is it?
8:52 actually.
Okay, well, we're gonna go on to 8:55. Just let me know when it's good.
Got you. We got some time for y'all
who are
just tuning in. That's our producer.
Here we go. Here we go with the whole they fired the hype man. Man, that's just like anything. I've watched so many different documentaries on so many different musical groups and bands and stuff like that. And it gets to a point where you be together so long, you want to cut each other's throat. Really.
They get too comfortable.
We ain't ever gonna get that.
No, because it's different. You don't have to ride on a bus with her, country to country, on a 50-date tour. You don't have to deal with her studio antics when she come. Well, you do.
I'm gonna be late.
But you know what? You don't have to. But it's not an ego. It's not an ego trip thing. You're not waiting for an hour and a half for somebody to come in to do their lines. And you're paying. And you got tape rolling and companies paying you money.
First time you do that, be the last time.
First of all,
it's a lot of things that come with it.
Vice versa.
Your whole viewpoint at the time may totally change.
Yeah, after a while, I feel like people just get too comfortable, and that's what makes them fall apart. Like even with New Edition, they fell apart because they got too comfortable.
Right.
And it happens often because it's a lot going on. You get a lot of fame. You get up there. You like, oh, I can do this. You like this.
You seriously need somebody to keep you grounded because you have so many people out there. 1 minute the band is a collective, everybody's loved by everybody, and it's like next thing you know it's about one hit album, and it's like, oh, you're the best singer in the group. Oh, you know what? You don't need those guys, man. You can go on your own and do this, do that, and the other thing.
The manipulation.
It comes down to the manipulation and how you want to go. And if you don't have anyone to keep you grounded, you're gonna go off the rails.
Yeah.
I keep you grounded.
And on that note,
she keeps me grounded.
All right, guys, we made it to the next
T the
week.
busy bee for a reason.
We come back at the top of the hour. We'll be back after these few messages, all right? Listen to our commercials. See you soon.
BigExposedRadio.com.
We got free TV.
Check out this flashback from It Is What It Is radio show.
Party he was chilling, he was doing his thing. You feel me? Love y'all family, you know what I'm saying? And like for him to be taken away from you, snatched away from you just like that. You feel me? It's like damn. The good one gone. You know what I'm saying? Like why you taking the good? You know what I'm saying?
You always end up asking like why?
And that's like again. It's a lesson it's a test of faith. You feel me? We're gonna take you through these tests. You feel me? You're gonna go through these little phases in life, yo. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you just gotta recognize that one, it's the adversary trying to knock you off your pivot, and then it's God trying to teach you something. You feel me? Right. Anything that you go through, you gonna get through. It's called going through. You feel me? That's why it's called going through. You going through something. Right. You feel me? Because after you go through it, you get through it. You look back on like, damn, I got it. You feel what I'm saying?
For this and more, be sure to tune into BeExposedRadio.com every Friday from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock p.m. to listen to more of It Is What It Is radio show.
You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. So deeply wounded, but don't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. So you just sit there and you suffer in silence. Your pride won't let you just uncover your secret. Don't wanna look weak in your image, it ain't worth losing. So you just act as if it's nothing happening. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. Suicidal, depressed, but you won't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. You feel alone even though the people surround you. Popping pills every night even though you know they can't solve it. The emotional pain, it just seems way too heavy. Your mind is racing, wanna scream, somebody help me. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. These type of people sit right under our noses. We don't find out till we're on IG scrolling. We post a few memes, but then it keeps on happening. Something's gotta change, we gotta start talking and telling the truth without the fear of judgment. Gotta come together and really start loving and heal these people cause they're slowly dying. Help them believe that their life is worth living. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. I pray there's an end to this suicide demon. We losing people too soon, they cutting and bleeding. They think no one cares, so I wrote this song to tell you, my God, he cares and he can heal you. He sees you when you're crying yourself to sleep, wondering if anybody hears me. You tell yourself you can't go on no more, but your life is worth fighting for. Don't leave this world too soon. There's so many people who really love I know you're hurting deep down inside, but my God, He came to give you life. You think no one cares, so you just sit there. I'm talking to you, get up from there. You gotta believe there's something better. God put purpose deep inside of you. The whole world is waiting for you. You. Skirt, 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 skirt.
Stop. Skirt, 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 stop. Stop. I be up in the way. I be up in the way. Hey, I be up in the way. I be up in the way. Running on my face. Hey, Buzy guilty on my face. Hey, I be up in the way. Hey, I be up in the way. I be up in the way. Hey, I be up in the way. Hey, I be up in the way. 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 Bedroom phone ring, girl in t-shirt answers me. I get off on the way that she answers me. First time saw her, I knew she was the one for me. Ever since then we been vibing on some chemistry. It's just a matter of time. I know she feeling my vibe. I got the keys to the ride. She put her hand on my thigh. She got that look in her eye. That's hell when I'm riding. Loyalty, call me highness. All day and overnighted. Cause it's crunch time when I'm grinding. This Adderall got me nauseous. Proceed with caution. Time to lane, I'm exhausted. Poppin' Zenny Zen, sipping out the faucet. I'm confused, don't know what I'm doing.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And we are back. Thank you guys for tuning in again. This is the top of the hour. My name is T, the Busy Bee.
I'm your boy Skylyne Mark.
And we are Skylyne Radio Show. We here with our producer. Hey, say hey, producer friend.
Hey, producer friend.
He's funny.
Just to give you an update on the whole SARS, I told you in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Maryland.
Is it SARS or the coronavirus?
I'm sorry, coronavirus. So you got to be talking about SARS. But Maryland is 85 cases.
Okay.
DC is 31 cases.
Okay.
Virginia is 67 cases with 2 deaths.
Okay.
New York, 2,495 cases and 16 deaths already.
Ooh. But
that outtops Washington State, which is 1,100 and some odd.
yeah, it spread fast.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they're trying to get everyone in the house. Okay, honestly, before we start talking about sports, I really feel like this is how the government dealt with us. We were looking at them like lost puppies. Like, so what do we do? And they were like, okay, guys, go inside.
Go in your house.
And you go in your house and don't talk to people.
Yeah, that kind of made you. It kind of makes you feel like back in the 50s when they had the air raid shelters and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, well, what happens if a bomb drops? Just go down in the basement, duck and cover.
Right, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go inside. So now what? And we're looking at them still, and they're looking at us like, everything's okay. But behind them is just like this big old fire, and they're like, everything's all right, guys. Like trying.
Even though we're making light of it, it's not a laughing matter. But you got to find the humor in
you got to find the humor in everything. Like, I really do feel like it's getting kind of crazy. You ready for this?
9/11.
9/11.
Was the mass hysteria this bad?
Yes. What? 9/11
But watch
scarred me
this.
for life.
The last time it was this bad, you got to go all the way back to World War II.
But no, that's different though.
That's what I heard today. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I heard from.
Are you talking about the epidemic?
The mass hysteria due to an epidemic.
Oh yeah.
You got to go all the way back to World War II.
9/11 was probably the worst. I don't think
9/11 in our era. They're saying this will probably be the closest.
Well, that's the difference is that's an attack, compared to an epidemic or a
pandemic. I mean, this can still be considered an attack too under undisclosed information. That's
Tag at a cell phone.
It could be. But
we're gonna go with pandemic.
But I mean, at this point in time, they would find it linked to certain things. You know, like say for instance, don't pop the air and the plastic bags that come in your in your Amazon shipment because it might be from China and the air is poisonous. You know, that's a difference.
Yeah, I feel like they're like running with stuff now.
Well, you know what? They don't know. See, here's the thing. They're still trying to get a handle on something. You know, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Because it's not like one person got infected, you caught that one person, you put them in quarantine, you test and everything like that, and voila, you got a cure. No. You found out.
It was like, bloop.
Right. You found out about this after it already had spread it through. You know, you found out when they had cases already reported in China. Now, you know, of course, the CDC, all the global healthcare places, if they have epidemics like that, they have to report them.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, and they happen to trace it from one particular area of China.
Right. We're gonna go with pandemic.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. Someone brought up the DC sniper as another one that was like the hysteria behind it. I feel like the DC sniper.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad, but we were scared because we didn't know. But we were just like,
no. I tell you, the DC sniper situation was probably a thing that put a lot of fear and impact in the surrounding Delmarva area. You know, DC, Virginia, Maryland, because they were coming up here in Baltimore.
And it was random.
And riding around. And it was random. It wasn't like they were taking pot shots at, you know, officials or anything. They was picking off random folks, and you did not know you didn't know
who was next.
You didn't know where it was coming from.
No.
You didn't know if it was copycats. Because usually, sometimes some stuff like this, people jump on the bandwagon
all day.
So you didn't know if it was any copycats or anything. I was on my way to Texas, and it's so funny that I'm in Texas, probably like 500 miles away, and the only thing I see on the news is back home about the DC sniper, and they're talking about white vans. Because they were talking about rider vans. They seen a rider van that looked suspicious. It could have had the DC sniper in the back of it. Blase.
Wasn't it a car though?
It was a car.
It was that long.
That moved the back seat.
You can move the back. Well, most cars you can move the back seat out.
Yeah, but that one in particular.
That type of car, you didn't need to move the back seat because the trunk was so huge.
And that's how he had like a little.
Oh, he came out the
opening.
back. Now when they rode around, he came out the back through the bottom of the seat and everything like that. But yeah, when he was doing the shooting, he was in the trunk.
He was up in that trunk.
They told us walk zigzag. It's like
it sounds crazy. But people were trying everything possible just to stay safe.
Like
I didn't go to work. How about that?
Here I am on 295 going to BWI, and there's rider trucks all over that strip. You know, especially during rush hour traffic.
Is the rider trucks the white ones that are like they're it's like a short nose and it's real square?
No, they were in like the vans. They weren't in the moving trucks.
Okay, like a 15-passenger van?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's how they had.
That's what you call a rider van.
You can get rider truck. You can get vans from riders. A rider that doesn't have any seats in it that you can move stuff in.
Okay, I'm
It's a passenger van, but it has no seats.
Okay.
You know, and it has no extra windows on the side. It's just the back windows, the front windows, and the two.
Okay, that's what I thought that was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what they had alleged that they were in.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know.
That it was a car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But either, man, look.
And how they get caught? Sleeping at a truck stop.
Yeah.
For real?
Truck driver turned them in.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know
I think he had actually woke up from a nap and went to look out the window and saw the car and was like, oh, damn.
Well,
there they go.
Well, somebody had reported, after they got caught, somebody had reported seeing the same two people that was on the TV set at the McDonald's on 20, I don't want to say 25th, but up there on Greenmount Avenue, near 33rd Street.
He just got married.
Who?
The one that's in prison. Malvo.
He got married in prison?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She a rider.
My thing is, did you even know him back then? And why would you marry someone that possibly will never get out?
She's a rider.
They, you know what?
Brainwashed.
You know what? I hear different things about that because he was a minor.
You knew what you were doing.
You might have known.
You said 16, 17 years old.
I think he knew what he was doing. I don't think he knew the impact of what was going on because all he was told to do was drive. I think that.
No, he
was the one that was shooting. Yeah.
Oh, I can't give him no.
The
pass.
kid was doing the shooting.
Yeah.
I thought the parent. What was
The father, stepfather, whatever he was.
Well,
he had him brainwashed.
Yeah, and see that's what
he came to the DC area to actually kill Malvo's mother, and had been spotted in the neighborhood a couple times, because in I don't even remember what neighborhood she was in or what city, but it's PG County, and
ain't you from PG?
She was in Bowie. I mean, the first home that was hit was in Bowie.
It was in Bowie.
That's where the elementary school was, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't the elementary school. I think it was in like a.
Where did she live?
It don't matter where she lived because that's not important. She lived somewhere.
No,
near
but
Bowie.
what I'm getting to is she lived in a moderate to uppity type neighborhood.
She lived in a
where
house. I know that.
people see a strange car, they watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, at that time, in mostly Bowie areas and all those areas were pretty much, middle class, and upscale to some degree, and you see a strange car in your neighborhood and you paying that much money for a house, you're gonna be like, who's this motherfucker now?
Huh?
That's crazy. I just knew that.
Shoot,
honestly,
I'm in the city, and if I see a strange car parked in my block, I'm like, y'all know them things?
Right.
Around here?
That's just how I was raised, though. I watch. I gotta know what car's going where.
Oh my! It's 9:13. This time moving fast.
Yeah.
Fastest 2 hours of your life. You ever heard that?
I know it's the fastest 2 hours of the life, but
conversation.
Whew, that's good. But so for the DC sniper, I was in middle school, elementary school or middle school, or maybe high school. It was. I think it was middle school. What year was that?
That was
2000, 2001, 2000.
I think I was in middle school. No, I'm trying to remember because they told us. So
it was 2000 because it was before 9/11.
Okay, so I was living in PG County. They told us to walk zigzag, and actually, I don't remember as a kid. Like, it's really like stuff that you remember, but you remember it as a child. You don't remember it as an adult.
Right.
Like, even watching the news as a child is different than watching the news as an adult.
Right.
Like, I remember as a kid, I remember watching the DC Sniper, and I remember him taking out people in Bowie. And, like, I remember that was the beginning, and it was different places, and he was popping up just randomly.
It was.
And my
somebody
mom
got hit in Columbia.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And my mom started taking us to school. Like, every morning she would take us to school. I remember that. I remember them telling us to walk zigzag. I remember them catching him, and I remember the court case. Anything else? Any details? All of that. Oh, except for the details that I know about the house that in Bowie and the car, all of that. But I learned all of that through the case. I didn't learn any of that in the beginning.
Right.
Like, some of these kids out here are it's just be so blindsided, and it's not even their fault. They just, it's not even like you can even get mad at them because You can't traumatize them that young.
Wow. I tell you what.
But then, you know,
I tell you what, that's a good topic. We'll talk about that after the break. So take us to the break.
All right. Oh, y'all, she said take us to break. So, guys, make sure you guys tune in and finish this up. I'm about to take y'all to break. I can't get these words together. Watch these commercials. We got to pay some bills. See you on the flip side.
BeExposedRadio.com.
To the times when we cared for one another, we shared the same respect. What is happening? We're trading what's important for shiny things. I can't allow this blasphemy. Why would you treat yourself like that? We didn't come this far just to fall right back. Don't lose yourself, stay on track. Baby, you're a god. Baby, you're a god. Believe that. Full of the things that we've overcome. Full of unspoken battles we've won. You're so much better than that. Sometimes the truth ain't always catchy as rap. For chasing cheese and you get stuck in a trap. Go get your crown and never bring it back, no. Why would you treat yourself like that? We didn't come this far just to fall right back. Baby, you're a god, you're a god, you're a god, you're a god. Baby, you're a god, you're a god, baby, you're a god. Believe that. You're way too gifted to stop and listen. It's condescending, not to mention all of our ignorance. Is there permission to? I know you like to turn up like that, with a drink to pull up like that. Well, baby, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Just make sure the
Like the one thing you always gotta remember is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything. Some shit bigger than you, man. Like yeah, I'm good and all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And we are live, we are back. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. I'm not going to repeat that part.
Please don't.
But for those of you who were tuning in, we were just talking about the DC sniper, and then we started talking about 9/11. We were talking about how, as a kid, like, you knew things were going on, like, but you didn't really know. And we were like, we knew like the aftermath. And it was like, oh, this is what we're going on. And what I was saying was that it's almost like they tried, like, as a child, up until like 13, 14, up until recently, they tried to like shelter you and protect you from what you see, but it's all exposed like in front of you. So it's kind of weird because you don't take it in the same way. And then I was talking about how we're traumatized by the news.
Well, you know, here's the one thing that a lot of adults do, and it's no harm in doing it, is because a lot of this stuff is very traumatic to kids. And sometimes parents want to shelter their kids away from all the chaos and everything else that goes on. And you know, because you want your child to be a child. You want them to have, you know, great memories and, you know, have a pleasant life. And when it comes down to issues where a war, disaster, Even just explaining death is hard because you have to you don't want to sugarcoat it, but you don't know, they don't really understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But if you give it to them hard-fed facts, it's petrifying to them because their mind can't grasp it. Where by the time we get to adults, we have seen so much in our lifetime that this is, it's traumatic to us, but we can handle it a little better than what a child can handle it, because you have to explain to them what's going on. They don't know what's going on. If you say what's going on to the person down the street as a 30-year-old woman, they'll tell you, oh, somebody just jumped off the roof, and you'd be like, already, okay, that must have been a suicide attempt, or somebody must have got thrown off or something like that. Kid, why?
Kids, I was about to say that they're gonna ask all the questions.
But was he unhappy? How come he jumped off the roof?
But where did he come from? And why did he do that?
Why did he do that?
The why did he do that is the one that kills it all.
Yeah,
because some things are unanswered. You can't really answer things.
Right, because and so a lot of times, yes, we try to, especially from all the outside forces and elements, we try to protect our children from all of it.
Yeah.
And it's no harm, because the only thing we're trying to, the only thing as adults that we're trying to do is be parents and good parents.
Yeah.
I
think the most traumatic experience, not even that I think, the most traumatic experience was being in 5th grade and watching a plane fly into the Twin Towers. That had to be the traumatic, because we saw it from them saying, oh, 2 planes have hit the Twin Towers, to only 1 plane being in the Twin Towers, and watching the other one hit the Twin Towers as they're saying it, and it was just like, oh my God, and the whole thing, and we didn't understand that, well, we knew what volcanoes were, but, we didn't correlate volcanoes and bombs, and actually what bombs do and the airplanes into, this was all new to us, and they just throw it at you, catch it. Now understand.
This wasn't a cartoon.
No.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that to be funny,
I understand. I felt it. That's why I said no. In a fifth grade
mindset, even though yes, we do have some very bright and intelligent 5th graders out here, but in a 5th grade mind, it's like somebody just threw a bomb off the roof. It's like, okay, like the movies, right?
Right.
No, in real life, the impact of seeing it in real life is so different.
It is. And from then on, it was different, because from then, you got to remember, as kids, this is what we experienced. We experienced 9/11. We experienced the DC sniper. We've experienced cicadas.
Sweetie.
And I know you all experienced a lot, but
listen,
I
have experienced Vietnam.
Thank you for your service.
No, I didn't serve in Vietnam, but I experienced Vietnam because that was on the TV at the time.
Oh.
You were a child?
You know what? I was actually, when Nixon left office, I probably was about maybe 6 or 7 years old.
So you saw all of that firsthand. See, they don't, and it's not it's only so much now you can shield your child.
And these were national news, but being 6 or 7, your day went on A, B, C, D, Romper Room, whatever else was on TV. Your mindset, for a split second, your mind was on that. But then again, that wasn't something you really understood, so you just focused back on what you understood. But as you got older and you started, gaining more knowledge of the world, because, one thing they brought up when I was getting out of high school was the draft. Mm-hmm. They had brought the draft back up again. And this is 1983, because this was this is right before Desert Storm 1. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I am not going to sign up for the draft. I will not. Nope. I will not. You seen what happened in Vietnam? That's what's going to happen to us. I'm not going to do it.
Pretty much.
You know, because of, you know, gaining enough knowledge to know. And, you know, I was probably in college, that's when they was like, look, you know, you may not even go to war. You know, it's just a check-off card. And we'll give you a Pepsi because I know you're thirsty being in school. You know?
Right.
But, I mean, but I was like, no, I am not signing up for anybody's. I'm not going over there fighting people because I looked at some of the people that were coming back and how messed up they were.
There's a lot of them that are homeless.
A lot of them are homeless. You know.
But they want you to go in the military and fight for our rights. But when you come back, they ain't got nothing for you.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I had quite a few of my buddies that went into, like, the service, and they made a career out of it, and they got a nice, you know, good life out of it. Some of them even work in the hospitals.
I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying, you know, but yeah. But a lot of times, you know, some of, you know, you go over there and you see some of the trauma and all the rest of that stuff. You fighting over there in another country, you know, fighting basically for your life.
It's not the same.
And you come back and you're not treated the same. You got to go through all types of, you know, you waking up to nightmares.
Yeah,
you
like
know,
you experience a lot.
I mean, people have gone. The divorce rate has gone up so much since the time people were over in Iraq and Iran and Pakistan, because a lot of people come home and they come home to a totally different person. A person that you touch.
They need some type of counseling, and they can't get it.
They're grabbing at your throat because they think you're trying to kill them.
Yeah.
Post-traumatic syndrome is crazy.
It's real.
It's real.
It's a form of mental illness, and the government doesn't want to do anything about that. Number one. Number two, they need some type of counseling, and they can't get it, so they bottle it all up.
So I don't believe that they can't get it. I believe that they ran out of resources and they ran out of fight. Well, and because of where they were, they couldn't do it on their own. Where they were mentally, they couldn't do it on their own. I feel like people they needed like some type of assistance to get them there, but
that's
they were so far gone.
That's what I'm saying.
They just couldn't.
Because a friend of mine is actually a social worker for the VA hospital in Charlotte, North Carolina, and she deals with a lot of the, you know, she has to actually go out to homes and do home visitations and stuff like that, making sure they take them, you know, have the right meds and making sure they have all that paperwork done, so if they, you know, whatever benefits they qualify for and all the rest of that stuff, you know. So there is strives, but you know, there's so many people, you know, there's so many people that need the help.
Yeah.
And there's only so many people on the ground that could cover it. You know, I mean, if we had more, and they're more, they're coming out with more and more services. You know,
more and more people are getting involved in social work.
I was just thinking.
Therapy.
I was just thinking about this one guy who actually hosts a podcast out of Houston, Texas, and he actually works as a, you know, he uses his podcast actually as a service connection. He'll, you know, people actually send him, well, we have this, if you have, you know, listeners in the main area and they need, you know, help, and we have a VA, you know, a veterans coalition that help veterans that's been through the military service, and if they're going through, you know, displacement of housing and stuff like that, and he just puts it all over there. But that's one of many, you know. I mean, there could be more, you know, and you know, I have to really give you guys your props, because you know, y'all see it firsthand when you're feeding the homeless.
That's our people.
Oh yeah,
they're Americans.
They're all our people.
They are our people, but
you a paycheck away.
I can't say it is. I can't say it's definitely an experience, And it's sometimes, depending on what's happening, it's either you can control it or you can't control it. You can see the incident instantly. Like, I wish Shanetta was here because I know she could talk about it. Just seeing it out there. Like, one time, it's a light-skinned, tall guy and his mom that come. They come every now and then. But this time they came and they were doing too much. It was something happening on this end where we were giving stuff out, but I guess they weren't moving fast, so they were trying to look in the bag, and he flipped like a switch and just started yelling and swinging and everything, and it was just like I was just like, oh my God, I can't. He doesn't know me, so he wouldn't react to me like telling him to like calm down, relax. His mom was just like, just come on. So she like walked him away so that he can calm down and everything. But even just experiencing that, it's just like, oh my goodness. Now experiencing, they done try to fight out there. They done try to fight us. They done argue with us. You know, I had this one lady, I remember in the beginning, I had a lady, you remember the lady that slapped me? That slapped my arm? You remember in the very beginning when we first started feeding the homeless in DC? This lady was trying to touch something on my table. This before I had to learn to like stand my ground, like how to really stand my ground. Yeah. But this lady was touching something on the table, and I told her not to touch it, and she was in front of me, and I was trying to reach around her and like move her.
In Baltimore?
No, it was in DC, and she was like, "Don't touch me!" And I looked, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I caught myself, and I was just like, God, I gotta walk away. And that was like the first experience because I did not touch her. Like, it was just so crazy. Like, why are you hitting me? Didn't I will smack you, but you're a homeless. I can't be smacking the homeless people. Literally, that was my thought. Like,
but you know, it's funny. I had an experience one time. I was actually helping my church with food drive. We were getting all this stuff from the food bank. The lady from who was running daycare. Not daycare, but after school program. Mm-hmm. She would get a lot of food from the food bank and stuff like that, and you know, one distributed to the area and all the rest of that stuff. So one Saturday by myself, got the table out, free food sign up against the gate, stacking all whatever they need, and this lady I see this lady, and she comes up and she takes about a couple bags of potatoes. All right. Cool. Couple loaves of bread, she's stuffing in the bag. Okay, cool. Comes back 15 minutes later, same bag, do the same thing again. And I came over to her and I was like, Miss, you know, you need any help? Because I seen you come here a couple times and you've been back here, you know, a couple times. You know, oh, I only been here once. No, this makes your fourth time, ma'am.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she's selling that.
No, she wasn't. She said, well, I'm actually, you know, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come here, but I'm actually just feeding my family. We live up the street. So, okay. I said, well, I'll tell you what. Whatever I got left over, I said, come down here in 15 minutes. You know, I'm about to pack up. Whatever I got left over, if, you know, I'll bring it up to your house. So I put together about maybe 2 more bags, brought it up there to her. Find out that the house that she was living in was her family house. But her mental psyche was off so badly that she was the last one of her family still living. Mm. But she was living in the house like everybody else was living in there with her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Aww.
And it was like...
That was probably the only way she can, like, push forward. Like...
Well, I think her mother had died from one of the neighbors that told me later on that one of her mother had died maybe like 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And that really sent her over the edge. So, because she talked like, you know, yeah, my mother's there, my father, he's an invalid, you know, my brother's there, but he's not working. you know, and
she stopped at what she remembered
Yeah.
to hide the pain.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
that's what it sounds like. She literally stopped at
Yeah.
what she remembered. And some of these people are they really don't have it.
yeah,
They really don't have it. Another guy, a lot of them have like really bad anger issues.
yeah,
Really bad anger issues for like no reason at all. And then it's like it's been a couple times where I had to address a couple of them like, hey, like, I don't know what's wrong with you, but if
You need to get it together.
like, you having your moment, I need you to step to the side because
Yeah.
everyone else can't have that moment with you.
yeah.
Like, I really, like, have to regulate the crowd, and it becomes good because the next time I was out there, he was like, y'all heard the lady? Da-da.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You know,
and sometimes you just got to talk to
a
them.
lot of, you know what, a lot of times, and I find this a lot with just people in general. People are angry.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot, especially you look at a lot of young people in this country, they are angry, you know, and, you know, a lot of people say, well, I don't know what they're angry for, but they have a lot to be angry for. I mean, you know, I remember I was in the store one day and this kid was like, man, I don't care about nothing, man, for real, it's all about me. I ain't even gonna be here till I'm 25 years old anyway, so it's all about me. And, you know, the guy was in the store, and I know the guy, he was like, well, why do you feel that way? You know, you got a lot to live for, you know. He was like, I know I felt that way when I was a kid, but you know, after a while, life will change your mind and stuff. And he was like, look, my father and my mother were strung out since I was 3 years old. My mother kicked me out when I was 10. And she kicked me out only because I wouldn't give her a bottle of clean piss. So her boyfriend could take it to...
Wow.
Take it so he can get a gig.
Wow.
Now, I've been living out here on my... And he's no more than 17 years old. And he's like, I've been living out in these streets on my own for the longest time.
7 years.
Back and forth, moved in with my grandmother to the point that my grandmother, she decided she wanted to go into a senior citizen building. I couldn't go with her anymore. I moved over with my aunt, but he had to fight his uncle all the time because he was drunk. You know, a lot of these kids go through a lot of trauma, and a lot of people go through a lot of trauma, and they're angry. But when somebody shows them that attention and say, hey, wait a minute, you know, we don't have this around here, man. You know now, you know,
You
just
ain't
wait
even
your
gotta
turn.
act like that.
Just wait your turn. We'll get to you.
Mm-hmm.
Their whole demeanor changes because finally somebody says something to them that meant something to them. Like, wait a minute, you know, you ain't got to do that, bro. We're gonna take care of you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I remember another good moment that I can remember is when I was feeding the homeless in Baltimore. It was right at the end. We still had food left over. We put them in to-go trays so they can go. This time we had plastic bags. It was like we had a lot left this time. And this homeless guy, he was like trying to like squeeze his way through to like pick up a bag, like trying to act all innocent. And I looked at him. I was like, sir, would you like a bag? He was like, yeah, I just wasn't trying to be seen. And I was like, you're always seen. We see you. And he turned and he looked at me, and you can tell like the compassion and the feeling on his face.
Because he was embarrassed.
And he really like felt that moment. He was like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that to me.
Because you know,
like they don't get a lot of love.
They're invisible to a lot of people. And that's the one thing that I even fault myself on, because I'll walk right past somebody, you know, and it's just out of the normal busy part of my day. I'm just, and they're sitting on the side, I'm like, you got a quarter. And I might be so busy in my day that I'm like, you know what, I ain't got time to stop. I got to make it up to this, you know, real quick because I got this appointment at 2 o'clock. I'm running behind, blah, 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 blah. But now I take that moment. You got a quarter? Hold up. Let me see if I can. You know.
I won't give them money. I refuse to. I think it was last month's photo shoots at Graffiti Warehouse. A guy came through, hey man, y'all got some spare change? I'm just trying to get, you know, something warm to drink. Me and John left at the same time he did. We get stopped at the light, North Ave and Howard. This dude comes around the corner, doesn't even notice that we're right there. He takes out a wad, no lie, this thick, and starts and flips it over and starts counting how much money he's earned already. I refuse to.
Bruh.
I'll buy you something to eat,
Bruh.
but I ain't giving you no money.
Bruh, I worked at the state office building, and when I went outside to smoke on the loading dock, there was a dude that used to take his Jordans off, park it right beside the dumpster, in a bag, take his Jordans off, take his brand new pants off, put it all in a bag, tie it, put it right there on the side of the dumpster, put on a dirty pair of pants like he done slept them and everything. Put on a raggedy pair of shoes with sole flipping and everything. And we'll stand out there for 7, 8 hours, and people will give him money.
So, I actually know someone personally who panhandles, and it's kind of funny because whenever it's my aunt, but my aunt's also handicapped. So, whenever she comes over, she's like, "Yeah, I go panhandling," or she'll call me. She'll be like, "What are you doing later?" And I'm like, "Auntie, I gotta go to work." So, your dad gonna be home? Yeah, all right, I'm gonna come over after I finish panhandling. All right. And she goes out, get her money, come back, and she comes with me. And she's like, "Go get this for me, go get that for me," and goes about her day.
Yeah.
Like literally. And some people are really out there. They do
And
it
some
live
people
their everyday life.
that's their hustle.
My aunt is a true hustler. I'm not gonna go into it. But
That's their hustle. You know.
don't let that handicap fool you. That's what she always just say.
But
that's
you know
what she says.
You know, and I mean, you know, I just look at it like, you know, there's the legitimate, and then there's the ones that just trying to hustle. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I give money every once in a while. I give money or I give food. It depends on what's in my car. I
go to CVS real
I
quick.
grabbed a $5 bill, I think a $5 bill, and I put it in my pocket. And I put it in my pocket because I was going to pay for something. But whatever I was going to pay for, I never got to it to pay. So, like, I was on my way home, and the guy was like, "Do you have money? Do you have?" And I was just like, "You know what? Here you go." And I gave him the $5. Why? Because I didn't have food. I didn't have money. I drive past him every day. Like, you know, people going to see your face. So, like, you know, a nice little gesture every now and then is okay. You know, it's random people that usually like see my face and they run up to my car like, "Hey," and it's like, "Nah, I'm not doing this today." Like, I'm not. But then there's other times where sometimes it's just a nice gesture. It's whatever I have on me today. Like today I gave this lady $2 because she was trying to track down the elevator man. When the elevator man, she was on him. And I was like, "Here you go, ma'am. Here's $2 just to get him away from her, just to get her away from him, because she was like this, like, so you're gonna give me money? So can I wait on the money? When am I gonna get the money from you?" And he's like walking away, and I'm just like, "All right, ma'am, like go away, not like go away, but like keep going, like." And and I was just like, "Here's your $2. Here you go."
Well, you know, random acts of kindness is always good, and you know, I try to practice it. Even if it's just a kind word. Yeah. Because you never know how a person is feeling that day and, you know, what that might do to lift their spirits. You know? I've actually had people text me on the phone and I'm like, "What's going on? You got time to talk?" "Yeah, sure." And I'll call them and all I do is listen. Because they need somebody to listen to, you know. And, you know, it's all random acts of kindness. You know. Even when it comes down to, like, a cigarette. "Yeah, man, can I get a cigarette?" I make sure I give, you know, and they got 50 cents in their hand. I'm like, "Nah, go ahead, keep the 50 cents, man." You know, I mean, it's a cigarette. What am I going to do? Yeah, 50 cents will probably buy me, candy. probably buy me one of those Tootsie Roll Pops that I like the most, but that's all they're gonna buy me. You know, take the cigarette. Go ahead. You're helping me stop smoking.
Right. How about that?
And the time now is?
It is now 9:45. We about to go to this break?
We got 2 minutes.
Oh, all right. We got 2 more minutes, guys.
That's a minute.
We really been talking this whole time. I forgot all about the breaks for a while, and then I looked down. It was like 9:35. I was like, well, here we are.
We told you we weren't going to glorify coronavirus.
We made up 10 minutes, you know.
Right.
You know, we made up to 10 minutes.
Right. We sure did. Yeah. Whew. This has been a crazy month. I bet people forgot that this is Women's Month.
I bet people forgot it was St. Patrick's Day yesterday.
Yes.
I didn't. I had my green on, and my green beads, and my green flashing beads.
Except for you. You probably was waiting for a bar.
I had a green drink.
You probably was waiting for somebody to just say, come on then, Mark.
Did you see my green drink with my green ice cube?
I didn't see your green ice cube. Mm-hmm. All I know is I was like, okay.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely is really...
So what are you doing next Thursday?
Excuse me.
Opening day for the Orioles.
Not a thing.
You know what I'm going to do?
Anything.
You know what I'm going to do? I got to come to Baltimore anyways. So I'm going to go buy pickles. I'm going to stand there. I'm going to have me a drink. And then I'm going to go about my day.
You going to buy pickles?
I'm going to have my own drink.
Okay.
So you going to go to pickles with your drink?
Yep.
So you going to feel like you in the area.
And take a picture.
Hey, today is supposed to be opening day, but it's not because of all the stuff going on.
Well,
because I got to come down here anyways.
Yeah. You got to be precautious.
You got to be precautious.
Now, I just hope
that's why I sent out the email today. I was like, I said, hey, is anybody coming? Is Rich going to be there today? And he's like, no. He said he wasn't coming. I was like, okay, well, did you hear from Mark and Tiana? Nope. I've been trying to reach out to them. All right, I'll contact them. Mm-hmm. That's why I got on the horn. Hey,
ain't no one contact me. You did. No one else.
He's the producer. He's the only one that has to contact you because he's.
But he just said, "Have you heard from anyone?"
But he's the producer, so.
How is anyone supposed to hear from us?
They probably reached out on the Skylyne page and nobody answered back.
I ain't see nothing.
Didn't? Okay, well, fine.
We won't talk about that.
I reached out to you.
But he's the producer.
And we both got back to you real quick.
He was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Because regardless of who was above or not, as the producer, you gonna ask, we gonna have a show today?
Yeah. Of course.
You know, we gonna do this in the midst of this pandemic. Like, this what we gonna do? And I'm like, yeah, I got you. You know, I'm gonna drive this hour. I paid this money.
Yeah, I could be.
Right, you could be chilling right now. I felt the same way.
I could be at my other job, making nude videos.
We having word nude videos?
Not me though.
Wow.
Not me though. I'm sorry.
Mr. Producer guy.
You didn't hear that on national TV. Wow. I'm sorry.
You know, but you never know what people do in the background.
You really don't.
Money.
No,
gotta get this money.
Got what Spike Lee say and do the right thing. I gots to get paid.
Yeah, it's 9:48.
To get paid. It's 9:48, and it'll take us to a break.
Hey, he's rhyming over there with the words and things.
It's time to go to break. We're gonna pay these bills. We are Be Exposed Radio with the Skylyne Radio Show.
We'll be back.
To find who we really are, crash into something new, take a break from my broken heart. Fuck with the shit, tell me you lie, I think you should go for another round. Baby, try not to say too much, let your love come down. If you wanna rule, it's a rules you gotta live by, live by. Stay true, let it cool, make a move, don't wait on nobody else. And if it feels like a melody, sing a song you already own. And if you follow me back, I'll follow you back. And let the night unfold. I can tell that you can't get enough, show enough, you couldn't keep the feeling so strong. know she couldn't. Feels so free. Got your legs till we dance in the dark. I know she couldn't. Feels so funny. We do whatever we like. Feels so free. I know she couldn't. Feels so funny. So let's slide, you and me alone, to find who we really are. Crash into something new. I got ballet bringing up the car. Tell me you kiss, tell me you lie.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Here we are.
We are back like we never left. Yep, I said it. Anyways, woo, thank you guys for tuning in for the last 2 hours. Like we always tell you, this is the fastest 2 hours of your life. And here we are right at the end once again. For those, you do not have to volunteer if you do not want to. You can stay inside. You can donate to us however you want, most likely monetary. But we do plan to feed the homeless this weekend. On Saturday, we will be feeding at 199 L Street Northeast. 199 L Street Northeast. We will be handing out paper bags full of
Paper goodie bags
full of items. We will put it on a table, and the homeless will come to the table. All we doing is setting up and stepping back.
And regulating.
That's all we doing. We are not doing the same hot food. We're not doing clothes. We're not doing toiletries. We are keeping it simple. I honestly fought really hard about this, about going out there or not. And on Sunday, we won't be under the bridge. What's the address? Mount Vernon.
282 East Mount Vernon Street.
Yes, that's what we.
282 East Mount Vernon.
That's the Mount Vernon Market.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where we'll be for Baltimore.
The corner of East Madison and Guilford Ave.
And again, we're setting up the table. We putting the paper bags out there. We taking a step back and letting the homeless pick up their own items.
Yep.
All right.
Right around the corner from the shelter.
Right, that little shopping center is right.
Mount Vernon Marketplace.
So if you would like to donate or if you would like to volunteer, you can come out. You do not have to. You don't have to. It is okay if you don't. We will be doing brown bagging it. Nice old goodie bag, stepping back, letting them have it and be on the way home.
We're going to have some type of sandwich. We're going to have several different type of snacks. Something that's nourishing.
Yeah.
Blueberry muffins, honey buns, snack size cereal boxes, fruit cups. Do we want to do fresh fruit? Fruit cups, pudding cups, assorted chips, assorted cookies, assorted crackers, and so forth. Toiletries, feminine products, hygiene products. That's all we are taking. We're not taking no clothes, this, that, whatever, and the third. That's all we're taking. Be safe. Be mindful. Don't be scared. Just be mindful of what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Use your hand sanitizer even after the pandemic is over.
We'll have gloves. We're trying to get face masks. If we can't get, just in case we can't get any face masks, bring a do-rag, bring a handkerchief, cut up a t-shirt, make it into a makeshift do-rag. I don't have plenty. I got one for me and a couple people, but that's about it. I asked a lady in CVS, the lady behind the dispensary counter, she had a face mask on. Where can I get face masks? I don't know.
They ran out.
What do you mean you don't know? Where'd you get yours? I work here. I didn't ask about CVS. I asked where can I get them. I don't care if they ran out. Where can I get them?
Can't get them nowhere. She really didn't know.
Asking because they're running out of masks and stuff like that.
Look, I can go to the hospital and get some, just like gloves.
Hospitals are running out.
Like, it's that scarce.
Construction companies
to donate them.
Donate masks.
Like, it's scarce. Her saying I don't know was a true answer. Like, she really did not know. Why?
Again, I didn't ask whether Where can you get them that has them?
Right.
Where can you get them? Period. I don't know.
Well,
You're in the
John
medical
says
field,
Home
you know
Depot
how.
And Lowe's and Walgreens.
yeah.
Who said that?
Home Depot, Lowe's, Walgreens.
Because, they deal with construction.
Gene said that?
John.
What
It's
you-
French.
Oh, my fault. Sorry.
Instead of Andrew or something.
Ooh.
I only know one John, so I'm like,
But anyway, also, if you know of any places that are local food banks in your area, giving away food, because who knows how long this might last. Mark predicting 2 weeks. Predicting July. Who knows how long it's going to last and how long people are going to be out of work. Like that. So,
question. When did this all really start? When did it really hit the news?
March.
No. Well, yeah, March. About 2 weeks ago. At best, 3 weeks ago. Right? 2 to 4 weeks it'll be done.
I don't believe so. You want me to know what? Want me to tell you why?
And meanwhile, in between time, if you know of any food services,
Oh, yeah.
your places that that may have, because that area, they're doing stuff for kids where they give kids meals and stuff like that. Also, they're providing food for families. If you know of any of them, send a text or anything to Skylyne, and they'll send it around to me or whoever, and I'll make sure it's on the exposed page. So at least
People know where they can get food.
know where they can get food.
Now, all the elementary schools are doing this, right? In Baltimore City?
No, not the elementary schools. But
Food
there are satellite places where they can go get it.
I thought the schools were doing 3 meals a day.
9:57.
How the schools doing 3 meals a day?
They're only open from 11 to 2 to provide the food to the students.
Right.
And it closes down. But that's it. They're not doing it for
No, I know schools are
It's
closed.
11:58. I mean, 9.
My question is, how are they doing the 3 meals a days, and what's the time frames they're doing
They're
them?
not doing the 3 meals a day, actually. Only doing it.
So that's false advertisement.
Only doing it from 10 to 2. Now some
False advertisement.
Listen, now it depends on the time variation. Some places can do it from 10 to 2. Some do it from 2 to 6. I don't know, but it depends on what time allotment they can have people there and able to serve people.
Right.
Okay. We got 2 minutes?
No.
Minute and a half?
No, we done.
Teachers,
Right.
principals. Teachers and principals in DC. Teachers and principals in Baltimore. If perhaps we have anything left over when we are ready to leave our designated locations this weekend for our Feed the Homeless charity events in DC and Baltimore, if you reach out to me or Tiana, if we perhaps have anything left over, yes, you can have them. Reach out to me, reach out to Tiana. If we have anything left over, we can contact you and let you know what we have. If you want it, you can have it for whatever. Yeah.
And on that note, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a great show. Shouts out to everyone. And we'll see you guys on the flip side.
Be safe.
For tuning in to Be Exposed Radio, Skylyne Radio Show. See you guys hopefully next week.
Be safe, be mindful, be thoughtful, think of others, think of your neighbors. Check on your neighbors if you don't see them in passing.
And stay healthy.
God be with us all.